Next up at UFC Vegas 91, we have Austen with an E, Lane, taking on Jhonata Diniz. I think it's Jonathan, honestly. Jhonata Diniz. Austen Lane 12-4 overall, 3-1-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that knockout loss to Justin Tafa. Jhonata Diniz 6-0. He's undefeated with all stoppages. This is supposed to be a showcase fight. This is one of those fights that the UFC set up saying, let's promote this young up-and-coming heavyweight, and we'll do it against a much larger former NFL player. And there's a narrative here. It's supposed to happen. Jhonata's supposed to win. He's supposed to win by knockout. But as we know, sometimes that's not how these Contender Series guys go. Jhonata is a very good striker. He does have clean technique, incredible power. He throws in combinations. He's got good defense as well. Great speed for his size. And he has professional kickboxing experience before moving to MMA. Takedown defense is solid, but it's relatively untested. There's not a lot of footage of him defending takedowns. That's not an easy thing you're just going to go ahead and find. He gets taken down Austen Lane. Guy's a former NFL player. Okay, a typo. He's
hey. No attitude like that to me tonight. You want to apologize?
Sorry.
That's what I thought.
Taking on Austen Lane, former NFL player. So an elite athlete, regardless of whatever level of success there. He's an elite athlete. He started his MMA career about 8 years ago. He is large, he's powerful, he's athletic. And he will come forward, strike as little as possible, try to get you to the cage, look to grapple. We haven't seen a ton of grappling out of him in the UFC octagon, but that is typically what he looks to do. He is a very athletic guy, but you can tell he's not that comfortable in the striking exchanges. And this is a tricky UFC debut situation because on paper, Diniz should dominate. He should be light years faster. He should have way better technique. He should probably hit hard enough and be able to defend the takedowns. But he is a UFC debut, a heavyweight UFC debut, with only 6 fights. There's too many uncertainties there. Diniz is going to be the pick because of what I just mentioned. He hits super hard. He should be much faster. And people are going to say, well, we just watched Justin Tafa knock out Austen Lane. So easy. Justin Tafa hits nuts hard, and he's a short, compact guy that up until his last fight was pretty hard to take down, and he just got in the pocket and cracked him. So I am going to go Diniz here, but I can't possibly trust him with my money. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Is that? It is. That's a fucking big boy tattoo, but he's holding a fucking football instead of a hamburger on Austen Lane's arm. What
on the side?
That? It says...
What's big boy?
Big boy things. It says something big boy. You know what big boy is?
No, it looks familiar, but what is it? It looks like isn't that a video game guy?
It kind of looks like the Fallout guy a little bit. But
yeah, that's what I thought it was. So then what's Big Boy?
Big Boy is one of the most iconic restaurants in American history. What do you mean, what's Big Boy?
It's probably some Indiana shit. I've never heard of that in my life.
You've never taken a picture in front of a Big Boy statue?
No. Big Boy restaurants. Let's see where the closest one is.
Hold on a second.
Michigan, Ohio.
I think I have a...
This is some Midwest bullshit.
It's not
North
some Midwest.
Dakota.
It's iconic. What the fuck are you talking about? Hold on. I think I literally have a picture of me as a kid in front of a Big Boy, I think.
There's not a single one. Dude, they're all in Michigan. 99% of these are in Michigan.
No, they're not open anymore, hardly. It's a fucking like old school 90s thing.
Well, the ones that are open are in Michigan.
Yeah, well, they're all over the country. They're literally, it's like Waffle House and Big Boy. Like those are the staples.
I've never seen one. I have never seen one. I have never eaten at one ever.
This fucking picture too, and it's gonna blow your mind, really.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for your breakdown of this fight, but yeah, we'll look for childhood pictures of you.
You spent how long? One time?
We'll wait. Anybody listening on Spotify, we're just waiting for Jacob to pull up a childhood photo of himself in front of a fast food mascot. So that's what the awkward silence is. And we'll just let him continue to do that and see what weird memories come rushing back. Maybe he'll remember the neighbor in the basement happenings.
That wasn't me, but it definitely probably happened.
You said you used to go watch Titanic in your neighbor's basement.
Oh, they were good people. They were just an old couple. They were just an old couple with some Furbies, man.
And
Go
didn't
down
you
to the
say one
basement,
of the
play with their Furbies? They'd come down halfway through, swap out the VHSs, right? Because Titanic was in 2 different VHSs.
Yeah. Didn't you have a neighbor that would like play catch with you outside? A childless neighbor that would play catch with little.
Jacob. That's what he say. That's how he sounded like too. Jacob. This sounds made up, but it's 100% true. Every time I would go out, because I would just go out a lot of times. Because in the '90s, everyone had two athletes that they loved, Ken Griffey Jr. and Deion Sanders, right? Everyone in the 90s loved at least one of those athletes, but I love fucking Deion. And I would put on my baseball gloves, keep them unstrapped like Deion, would punt the ball straight up in the air and act like I'm returning kicks like fucking Deion. But I'd go out there within 3 minutes of going out there, hey, Jacob, hey, what you doing throwing a football? You want somebody to throw a football with? And I'd be like, not really. He'd be like, teach me how to throw a spiral. That's what he would say to me.
Dude,
teach me how to throw
there's
a spiral.
definitely some
teach
memories waiting to come up.
Come here. Am I doing this right? Teach me how to... And I'd be like fucking 10 years old with this grown-ass man with no kids. Parents are inside doing God knows what. Listen to Meatloaf in the hot tub, but I'm out there with fucking Gino.
All right, there's some memories waiting to bubble up.
Teach me how to throw
for sure.
spiral. I do that. Oh my goodness.
Well, who do you think wins this fight? And then later you can show us on the dog.
Yeah, this guy Diniz or Dennis or whatever, Diaz is it with a Z?
Diaz is it?
Diaz.
Wait, what is that from?
Diaz. I think I reference this like every week. It's from Blue Streak.
Blue Streak, that's right. Yeah, Diaz.
What do you think we should do? Diaz.
That's
right. I think
we
should scrap it.
Who do you think wins this fight?
You think we should scrap it? Listen, I know he's supposed to be this accomplished kickboxer and striker, and I knew that going into watching film, and then I watched his Contender Series fight, and I mentioned this in my quick pick video. I don't know if that's that guy. Is this that same guy that's supposed to be this professional kickboxer? He looked sloppy. He looked slow. He looked like he was getting hit. He found the knockout, right, against a guy that I don't think was probably on his level. But when you're talking about an experienced kickboxer that's supposed to come in and smoke people, I didn't see a ton of speed. I didn't see a ton of footwork. I didn't see him defensively sound. I thought he looked pretty sloppy. So him coming in and losing to a long-rangey guy like Austen Lane would not surprise me at all. I'm going to make him my pick because he is supposed to be this guy. And regardless of how he looked, he did get the knockout, right? He did what he was supposed to do in that fight. But Austen Lane's a long-rangey guy. What I like for Diniz and what I liked for Tafa in that fight is when Austen Lane, he's a big, long guy, but he doesn't stay on the outside. When he comes in with big shots, he crashes into the pocket. He lunges into the pocket. And against these power strikers, you saw it with Tafa, you're going to get knocked out doing that. And against Diniz, technically, I think he probably should get knocked out as well. So Diniz is supposed to be this guy. We'll see if he is. But when I'm watching him on film in a mixed martial arts fight, you know, I'm not seeing anything that jumps out like, oh, man, this guy's fucking really good. You know, he's getting the job done, but we'll see. He's going to be my pick.
Yeah, and I get it. And the UFC seems to be loving these kickboxers moving their way over. Especially it's the Ultimate Kickboxing Championships now. Wrestling doesn't matter anymore in the UFC. So I get the hype here, and Austen Lane's a guy that can be knocked out. And Jhonata Diniz.
There's pressure on the commissions from people not to be named to not reward wrestling because it ruins the entertainment of the sport? I think there could be some backdoor pressure.
I don't think so at all. The athletic commission, those are government employees. They don't work for the UFC.
I know,
they don't give a shit. They oversee every single mixed martial arts competition and boxing competition, not just UFC. I am not a conspiracy theory narrative kind of guy. Conspiracy. I just think I don't know what it is.
Ear, like,
you know what I think it could be?
Start the year being like, hey, you know, grappling isn't what it used to be, guys. You know what I mean? Like.
Well, it could quite literally be the apex could be changing it because people land a half a strike and coaches go crazy. And like, it could be the apex that has done that to these judges and changed it because we don't see it as bad in pay-per-views.
Angelo quote, the government isn't corrupt, Bodetti.
My point was.
That is funny saying it's like the government.
The reason
nothing could be going weird with the government.
The reason I point out their government
aliens are real people and they're fucking out there. Okay.
The reason I point out that the government
some of you are fucking aliens.
The reason I point out that they're government employees is because a lot of people think.
Hey,
A lot of people think they work for the UFC, which they do not. The UFC has no say in who the judges are. None whatsoever. So like that's the narrative I'm trying to get out of here. But either way, we're both on the Jhonata Diniz side. I will spend the $9,000 in DraftKings. I think there's a lot of upside there. I think he can knock Austen out, potentially knock him out in under a minute and get that extra little bonus. I don't know if I'm going to spend actual human dollars, though, on the minus 240. If I do, maybe I do a low unit, high reward parlay with a couple of risky fighters. We'll see. But DraftKings, $9,000. I think I will spend that. I do think he wins, and I think he wins by finish. If you do want to check out everything else that we do, the picks, the bets, if you want to support the show, all of that can be done at WeWantPicks.com. Just click Become a Member at the top. It's only $10, and that will include multiple UFC events, an entire month's worth of events. We do have a couple of super chats to get to. $4.99 from Fighting to Read. Does that mean you don't know how to read? He said, been eating with these prize picks, so take some of this back, Angie. Jacob, are you streaming for this card? That's a question.
Yeah.
Yes. And then he said, I'm going to go out to Kansas City so I can live bet with y'all. Well, thank you very much for the super chat. We genuinely appreciate it. And then Fighting to Read again with the $1.99. Also, Ange, are you done with Slug
Broke-ass
Fight?
Bucks. Broke-ass Bucks. Pacers up. Pacers up 9. End of the third.
All of this excitement. We have a whole nother quarter to go. What a joke. $1.99. I appreciate you. I'm not done with Slug Fight. Slug Fight is a genuine word that I say. So, it's not like a gimmick. I say it naturally, and then you people jump down my throat telling me that it was the wrong word. It's not like I just started saying it for reaction. I've always said it, and then people are like, what? Did you say slug fight? That's not a real word. I do also say slugfest. I alternate between the two. The context is what matters. He will get into a slug fight. They will get into a slug fest. That's how I use it.
You're a fucking idiot.
Before you go, let me give you $50. Anybody who goes to WeWantPicks.com/bets and signs up with any one of our affiliate partners gets $50 as a thank you. Use the link, sign up, make a deposit. We send you $50 as a thank you.